In this lecture, we're going to learn about the v-show directive. Vue provides an alternative solution to conditional rendering. Sometimes you'll want the element to stay exactly where it is, but hide it with CSS. It's possible to perform this task by binding styles and classes. However, Vue provides a solution out of the box for this specific task. Back inside the template, we're going to add an italics element with a simple message. We're going to apply the v-show directive. This directive expects a condition. We're going to set the condition to the following: is mode equal to 1? By default, the element should appear based on the condition. Let's give it a test. If I refresh the page, the element will appear without a problem. If I were to switch modes, it would disappear. It works similar to the v-if directives, but with one noticeable difference. Viewing the Elements panel shows that the element was not removed from the document. Instead, Vue will apply the Display CSS property. The value for this property will be none. This value hides the element from view. That's the main difference between v-show and v-if directives. If I were to set the mode back to 1, the stylings are removed. We've learned about the two ways to render elements conditionally. There are quite a considerable number of differences you should take into account whenever using them. Let's start with the v-show directive. Unlike the v-if directive, the element does not get removed if the condition turns out to be false. Instead, the element will remain in the document. The Display CSS property will be set to none. This value will hide it from view. You're limited to using the v-show directive alone. It will not work with the template tag I showed you, nor will it work with the v-else directive. Something you should take into consideration is the performance you may gain or lose from using it. During the compilation of the template, Vue has to decide what has to be rendered. For every element added, you take a small performance hit. It isn't massive. It's not like your users will notice. However, it is a performance loss. After the element is loaded, toggling the stylings of an element is a reasonably cheap cost. It's quick and easy. Therefore, using the v-show directive is expensive on load but cheap when it comes to toggling an element's appearance. Next, we have the v-if directive, which does support the template tag, v-else-if, and v-else directives. Unlike the v-show directive, it will altogether remove or add the element based on the condition. One of the main advantages of this is that the directive is lazy. If the condition evaluates to false on the initial page load, the element will not be added to the page. The browser doesn't have to waste time painting the element. This saves resources on the client's machine because the element is never added to the document. However, it is expensive on toggles. As you can imagine, adding or removing elements in the exact same spot every time is not an easy or cheap task. It does require a bit of power to perform. If you're dealing with a few elements, it isn't that big of a deal. On the other hand, if you have hundreds of elements, you will definitely feel it. Overall, I wouldn't worry about it a lot. Either solution is viable in any application. My personal opinion is that you should use the v-show directive if the element is toggled frequently. Suppose the element is rarely toggled from view. The v-if directive is more optimal. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide which is the best one to use. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to the official documentation page for conditional rendering. It'll go over everything we've covered so far about conditional rendering. There are additional examples and use cases available on this page. I definitely recommend you give it a good read before moving on.